What's up everyone, my name's Garrett. I'm a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how you can start to increase your overall profit margin selling on Amazon. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I teach everything there is to know about selling on Amazon here on my channel. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, you're interested in selling on Amazon, definitely consider joining the family and hitting that subscribe button. But today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, which is increasing your overall profit margin. I mean, who doesn't want to make more money without really doing a whole lot of stuff? There's just a few tweaks I'm going to let you guys know that you can implement into your business that should increase your overall profit margin, so more money in your pocket at the end of the day. Now, there's a lot of Amazon sellers that don't really treat this business as a business, so they leave a lot of money on the table without even noticing it. So that's kind of what I want to go over in this video. So let's not waste any more time and hop right on into it. So the first way you can actually increase your overall profit margin is a very simple way. It's nothing crazy. It's just kind of changing your strategy around selling on Amazon, and that is implementing some higher priced items into your overall product catalog, guys. A lot of like the typical Amazon sellers average price point that I've seen, that's just kind of like a general thing in the Amazon space, is a lot of like people that sell name brand products are selling products anywhere from like $15 to $30 range. Their average sales price is $15 to $30. Now that's awesome, but there's something called Amazon fees, and the lower priced your product is, typically Amazon fees will eat up a bigger percentage of your overall sales price. So for example, if you're selling a product for 15 bucks, right? Your Amazon fees might be $8, $7, $8 on that $15 sale, right? For fulfillment, all the stuff, the Amazon, the referral fee, all that stuff combined might be $7 or $8. So that right there is already eating 50% of your overall sales price if you're averaging a $15 price point. Now, this isn't across the board. I'm just kind of giving you an example, right? So that's 50% of your sales price gone. So that means you need to be buying your inventory for way cheaper than 50% of the sales price in order to have a healthy profit margin. Now, a healthy profit margin on Amazon varies. There's wholesale sellers at scale that work on extremely low profit margins, like less than 5%. There's wholesale sellers that work on profit margins of around 15% on the higher side, 20% even in some cases. Depending on where you're at kind of in that picture, it's just gonna really depend. But the lower your average sales price is, especially with like a model like wholesale, typically your profit margins are going to be lower. Now, my average sales price this month on Amazon was around $60, right? So let's say instead of selling that $15 product where the fees are eating up half of our overall sales price, a $50 product might, or a $60 product might have a $12 to $15 fee to pick, pack, and ship, referral fees, a little bit more in some cases, a little bit less in some cases. So that's only about 20 to 25% of that $60 sales value. So that means we can pay a higher overall price in terms of the average sales price and have that same profit margin. So if you're selling a $15 product, the fees are eating half of your sales price, you're gonna have to pay below 50% to even have a profit margin. Whereas if you're selling a $60 item, those fees are only eating into, 20, 25% of your overall sales price. So if you could pay 50 to 60% of that overall sales price, you're still gonna have a very healthy profit margin. So as you can see, selling higher priced items, it's a lot easier to source products because, especially with wholesale, if you're paying 50 to 60% of the overall sales price, it's kind of hard to make money on those lower priced items. Your margins are very thin and you have to be very efficient with how you prep and send those products into Amazon. Versus the higher priced products, you can pay 50 to 60% of the overall sales price because the fees are only eating into 20, 25%. So you still have a healthy 10 to 20% profit margin at least built into those products, paying the same percentage-wise of the overall sales price. So that's the first tip. Definitely try to add some higher price SKUs, ASINs into your business. And another thing that comes along with that as well is you can increase your top line revenue moving a lower amount of units. And in most cases, that means you're gonna have to pay less costs to prep those products because you're not prepping as much volume, right? So that will also increase your margin as well. And that leads me into my second tip I have for you guys, is controlling how you're prepping and sending your products into Amazon. This is where I see a lot of people kind of waste money, right? Waste time and money, is prepping products, right? You want to be able to find the cheapest materials you need to prep your products. Poly bags, tape, boxes, all that stuff. Having a go-to source of cheap kind of supplies that you need for your business, where you can actually order them in bulk and save some money, that's going to actually increase your margin per unit and lower your average prep cost per unit when sending those products into Amazon. So definitely try to find a good supplier, order in bulk if you can, and save some money doing that with labels, all that good stuff. Try to use thermal printers so you don't have to pay for ink. All that stuff that factors into your average cost to prep an item and send it to Amazon is going to affect your overall margin. So if you can decrease that by even 10 cents a unit, right, across the scope of a year, that's going to increase your profit margin a pretty good amount, right? It's just saving extra money without doing more work, if that makes sense. And you also need to have a system in place where you can prep these products efficiently, right? If you're paying someone to prep your products, right, have a system in place that allows them to be as efficient as possible, because I've seen people that they could prep double the amount of products in the same amount of time if they just had a little system going, an organized little system to prep their products, receive their inventory, prep it, and ship it out, right? But a lot of people just kind of helter-skelter. They don't have a system in place to receive products, inspect them, prep them, load them up, box them up, and get them sent off to FBA. So just develop a little system that you can train your people, or if you're doing it yourself, increase that efficiency, and overall your cost to prep a unit is going to go down and increase your profit margin. And something that plays into this as well is how you're shipping your products into Amazon, right? You need to find the most effective ways to ship, whether you're shipping small parcels, so you're shipping with like UPS, whether that's using a little bit larger boxes to fit more units, learning how to actually pack products properly to maximize the space you're using inside of boxes is going to save you money on shipping, so you don't have to send an extra box and pay extra shipping on an extra box to send those items. So finding little ways like that can also increase your average cost per unit to get it into Amazon. Another thing is, once you're doing some volume, think about switching over to LTL, right? You're gonna save a ton of money palletizing your products and shipping them into FBA. Now, it can take a little bit longer to get those products to FBA if you're using partnered shipping, but if you have products going to a warehouse near you, you can definitely find an outside source that's not partnered LTL, that they have shipments scheduled every single day going to back and forth to Amazon fulfillment centers. You can partner with a trucking company like that. They can pick up your products and deliver them in less than 24 hours. And if you use 2D barcode, you can have that inventory checked in literally within 24 hours at Amazon's warehouse. So that speed, efficiency, and the cost savings that you're gonna have from shipping pallets can really add to your profit margin at the end of the day. That leads me to the third thing you can try and implement in your business, is just implementing a repricing strategy that in certain points of the day, it reprices your products up, right? And I learned this strategy from Scott Needham. If you guys haven't heard of him, he's an awesome source of information in the Amazon community. He has a great podcast. He has some softwares out. He's the owner of BuyBoxer, which is one of the largest Amazon sellers in the country. And he just puts out a ton of great information. So definitely go check him out if you get the chance to. But he was explaining how he used a repricing strategy that increased his profit margin in his business by like something crazy, like 4 or 5% or something like, don't quote me on that, some crazy amount, which doesn't sound like a crazy big number, but at the scale he's at, he's doing like 40+ million a year. That's a large amount of money to increase your profit margin by repricing a certain way. And what his strategy is he reprices up in the middle of the night. And the reason he does that is to allow the other sellers to reprice up with him, or at least try to get them to reprice up with him, instead of having that race to the bottom, right? If you have your repricer set to only go after the buy box 100% of the time and reprice down, you're just gonna continue to drive the prices of those products down when you're competing with the other sellers and they have the same repricing settings as well. So you're gonna drive down the price of those products and lower your profit margin. So by repricing up in the middle of the night, or at some point in the day, or some point in the week, that allows your competition to hopefully reprice up with you, and then you can start coming down in price again, reprice up, hopefully they come back up with you, reprice down again. So hopefully your average sales price is just going to increase across the board using that type of a strategy. And overall, it's just gonna put more profit in your pocket. Now, this is kind of a strategy for more advanced sellers. You're going to need a repricer that has the capabilities to do this. And typically the repricers that do have the capabilities to do this are the higher priced repricers, like couple $100, $300-400 a month, unless you have the ability to build out your own repricer. But like I said, it's just a thought for those of you kind of more advanced Amazon sellers already doing a big amount of business on Amazon, at least multiple six figures or hitting that $1 million mark or more than that. This might be a strategy you want to implement. I've been playing around with it and I'm already seeing some pretty good results from it. And the last way to increase your overall margin in your business is finding efficient ways to monetize your returns, right? On Amazon, it's part of the business. You're going to get returns. So how you handle those returns and monetize them is going to increase your bottom line or not, right? If you're not doing anything with your returns, you're letting them sit or you're just disposing of them, that's money getting thrown out the window. Everything typically has some sort of value. So in a lot of cases, Amazon, if they deem that product sellable, they'll put it back in your inventory, it gets resold. Great, but there's products that for one reason or another get determined as damaged, or a customer return that's damaged or something like that. It could be brand new, it could be used, but it gets sent back to you, right? Now, what do you do with those products that you actually receive that are returns? Now, typically if the product's brand new condition, it's good and sellable condition, good as new, it has nothing wrong with it, I put a sticker on it, send it right back into Amazon and get that thing sold. Now, there's also cases where you get products back where they're used, but they're still in good working condition and can be used by someone. You can either sell those products back on Amazon, in some cases, if it's like an electronic or something like that, in used condition, but for things like shoes, clothing, you're not allowed to sell it used. Find a different way of monetizing those returns, right? I sell used shoes and the used clothing either on eBay, or my mom sells on Poshmark, so I'll give her some of my returns and we split it 50-50 when she sells them. Find some type of a system that you can at least bring some money back into your business from those used returns. You can go to the flea market, do all that type of cool stuff to sell. You could have a garage sale. Find some way to bring that extra money back into your business so you can purchase more products to sell on Amazon. So I hope you enjoyed those 4 tips on how to increase your profit margins on Amazon. They're nothing crazy, just simple, easy tips that can help you bring in extra money into your business that you didn't know you were either wasting or you weren't taking advantage of certain things that could bring you in more profit. So I hope the strategies and kind of tips I taught you in this video can help you bring some extra money into your own pockets. But that's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. If you're new to the channel, as always, consider subscribing. If you got value, leave this video a like. And let me know down in the comment sections if you have any questions about any of the stuff I said in this video. And if you're looking to grow and scale your own Amazon business, I have a coaching program called the Arbitrage University. Check it out, link in the description. And that's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.